So exactly what I meant was I quit classroom teaching, not teaching online. So let's just clarify that before getting into this video, just in case you were wondering if I'm no longer teaching online, because I am. So my name is Lena. Many people have known me as Teacher Lena because that's what I started my channel as, Teacher Lena, because I was an online ESL teacher. And oftentimes we would label ourselves as teacher and then our first name. So I'm Teacher Lena, and this is my story. Okay, so I've been seeing a lot of teachers with videos on YouTube talking about why they quit classroom teaching. It's like a big trend right now. Why teachers are quitting to teach in the classroom. And I can only imagine just how horrible and hard it is to teach in a classroom right now during COVID. All the changes that teachers had to go through so quickly in order to accommodate students learning at home and not losing so much time. I mean, that was a lot for teachers to have to go through. I just can't imagine. Not only were teachers going through a lot of changes with COVID, the administration was making teaching even harder for teachers because of policies that were being changed and making restrictions on teachers that would make it harder for them to be effective in the classroom. So teachers were feeling like they couldn't discipline the way that they normally would to help students to be their best, or teachers couldn't grade the way they felt that they needed to in order to help encourage kids to do better. There's a lot of things that administration is starting to do for teachers that just make their jobs harder. And on top of that, it sounds like they want them to teach in a way to make it more fun for their students instead of really getting into hard work. And when you are always making kids' jobs fun and easy, then when they get into the real world, it's like they don't really want to work. I mean, I understand the whole concept of drawing the kids in, making it fun so that they want to be there. Yes, I understand that. But at the same time, kids, especially older kids, they need to work. They need to have longer attention spans. They need to be able to read for more than 5 minutes, and it sounds like a lot of schools, not all schools, but a lot of schools were struggling with trying to keep the interests of the kids, and the way that they solved this was trying to make it more fun and entertaining, and life is not all about entertainment. So my heart goes out to all of these teachers who have been so negatively affected because of COVID or just because of changes overall in teaching in a classroom. I mean, I just feel awful for teachers who really need to be there because there are kids need for teachers to be in a classroom. I'm all for classroom teaching. I don't think it should be substituted with anything except for being in the classroom. I mean, there are times for online teaching, but as a whole, we do need classroom teachers. That is never going to be something that needs to be taken away. So to make that most effective, I'm all for that. So my heart really goes out to teachers in the classroom. For me, my journey with teaching online started before COVID. And so I was not affected negatively by all of the changes that happened. So I am grateful that that was not my experience. But even though I do feel awful for those who did have to go through it, I am grateful that I got out of teaching in a classroom before COVID. It was like the year right before COVID. I got a whole year under my belt of teaching online, and then COVID hit. So it was like, wow, I was already set up for the influx of students who were actually coming online because of COVID. So it was kind of a easier transition for me because I wasn't stressed and trying to figure out what to do in a pinch. I was able to gradually go into it. So this is my story. of how I got started teaching online. And, I just felt like there's so many stories of why teachers have quit teaching in the classroom, and other people are definitely benefiting and it's helping them to hear other people's stories, because we need to make informed decisions. So I just felt like hearing another story would help someone who's out there trying to figure out if they should teach online too and not teach in a classroom. I started out teaching in the summer of one of my school years. I was looking for just some part-time work, and I stumbled across teaching online. Somebody knew I was looking for work, and they told me to look up teaching English to kids in China for like $30 an hour. And I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, I'll check that out. So I looked it up, Googled it, and I found a company, applied to it, and I was just amazed. I didn't quite make $30 an hour, but it was able to be achieved later on down the road. But I just wanted to make some summer extra money. I was looking for summer work, and it was so fun to be able to do it from home. In the convenience of my own home in the morning. Yeah, the hours were kind of early because teaching the kids in China required me to get up and start my classes at as early as 4 in the morning, and actually you could start earlier. So I was able to do that, but then the good thing about it was then my day was done with teaching, and then I can either, in the summertime I could do whatever I wanted to, maybe go to my second part-time job or enjoy it with my kids. But that was when I started, and I continued doing it during the school year because I just felt like to be able to do this in the morning, before I went to school was so convenient, and to make some extra money. And it was fun. I really loved it. I just continued doing it. So I decided to continue, and everything was working out. I was a morning person, so for me, getting up in the morning before classes was okay. For some people it could be a real struggle, but it was easy for me to adjust to that. And just so you know, there were weekend classes, and there were classes in the evening too that you could take advantage of. So it wasn't just morning classes that you had to teach. And now that I know more about the ESL world, I know that there are more companies that you don't necessarily have to teach to in those peak wee time hours, especially if you're not living in North America. I mean, you could teach around the clock if you want to teach ESL online. Currently now I'm teaching with ESL companies, but I also design my own classes with Outschool. Outschool is a wonderful platform for teachers who might be interested in creating their own classes, since, if you're already from a classroom environment at a brick and mortar school, you know what it's like to create a class or to, work with curriculum and what the curriculum should look like in order to be effective for a child. So if you are a teacher in a classroom, it would be a smooth transition to be able to use some material that you use in your classroom online with Outschool. But if you don't have that previous experience, there are other classes that you could teach online too. You could teach art, dance, athletics, karate. Oh my goodness, I see people all the time who are doing really well teaching karate online, or art. People love art. Music. Oh man, music teachers are really doing well on Outschool and other platforms. So that is something you can consider too if you are not a classroom teacher, but you have another skill that you want to be able to teach kids online. So just so you know, if you're interested in teaching online, though there are many options to what you can teach online. I just happened to get started teaching ESL online. That's how I was introduced to all of it. And then I found out about so much more that could be done teaching online. So after working through that whole first year, teaching in the morning and teaching before I went to school, I started to really investigate whether or not this was something I could do, that could be done full time. Because working in a private school, I was not getting paid the best, and I knew I had children going away to college, and I needed to make more. I needed to make more money. So it was a great opportunity for me to start trying to build up my classes and see if I could actually work full-time as an online teacher. And so during that year, I made my decisions, and the next year I decided that I was going to work solely online. And that required me to get a few more companies under my belt so I could have many options, because in the online teaching world, there are shifts. There are, sometimes students will stop booking for one platform and they might start booking for another platform. So it's good to have more than one opportunity or one company to work for, so that you can make sure that you're getting that income that you need consistently coming in. So that's what I did that summer. I applied to many different companies, and I got very familiar with all the different options that were out there. So now I have replaced my income that I was making as a classroom teacher. I've actually increased it. I'm making more than what I was making as a classroom teacher, and I'm talking like above, after taxes are taken out and all that. I'm actually doing a lot better working at home, not to mention what you save working at home. I mean, if I'm working at home, I'm saving on gas, clothing, food, even things that I would use in my classroom, because as a classroom teacher in a school, you know that a lot of times you're spending money out of your own pocket for your classes. So there's a lot that I'm saving. Yes, I'm purchasing stuff for my online classes, but I just feel like I'm saving so much more than what I'm actually putting out now. So that is also rolled into how much more I'm bringing in and keeping in my income now as an online teacher at home. I have really been able to increase my income. Yeah, it sways sometimes. Some months are better than other months, but overall, all of my months are better than what I was making as a classroom teacher. And this is something that I hear across the board. There are several teachers who are making way more than what they were able to make as a classroom teacher, and they're able to do that online now. And if you don't want to make your own classes, you can work for companies where they give you curriculum and materials to teach. So there are different options. If this is something that you are interested in, then I would be happy to help you to get started. Like I said, there are a lot of teachers that are deciding to quit teaching in the classroom, and I respect that. I hope that all teachers won't quit and leave the kids in the classroom, because they do need good teachers in the classroom. With that being said, I do feel like that teachers learn a lot teaching in a classroom. So there are definite benefits from teachers teaching in a classroom. They learn a lot. Sometimes they get paid more than online teachers. Sometimes the camaraderie and the interaction with other teachers really help them to grow and develop a lot quicker and better in a classroom, and then maybe taking those skills and maybe down the line become an online teacher is a good way to do it. There are many options, different ways that if people want to transition from teaching from the school into online classroom or online teaching, I think that it's beneficial for teachers to be able to do both at different stages in their career. So yeah, I definitely think that teachers can learn a lot from working in the classroom. Not to mention students. How students learn in a classroom is different than how they learn online. Although, I see the benefit of both for all students. Students who are in the classroom can come home and continue taking classes online to reinforce what they're learning in the classroom. I have a lot of students who are doing that. They need either extra reading help, or they want to practice getting over their fear of reading in a group. So we practice group reading, and this helps a lot of shy students. Or if it's offering something, or for a student taking a class of something that's not offered at their school, it helps to supplement what they're learning at school. So for students who are in the classroom, definitely they can benefit from online teaching too, so vice versa, like students who are at home can learn online, and then they can also go into a school setting and take some extracurricular activities too. So I feel like they're both beneficial for students, being learning online and learning in the classroom. So again, online learning, classroom learning, they're both highly needed for students. But I don't think that you must work in a classroom before working online. I've already said that. There are different things, but different ways to become an online teacher. We need teachers everywhere. That's really what I'm just trying to say. We need teachers everywhere. So yes, we need teachers who are interested in transitioning out of the classroom, though. I'd be happy to help you. I know several companies that you could work with. I actually am coming out with a video pretty soon about how you can work online, how meaning where you can work online, different companies you can work with. So you can look forward to that video. It'll be coming out soon. And just, keep coming to my channel, because I do put out a lot of information for online teachers. So if this is something that you're curious about, and before you actually make that jump into it and you just want to, become more informed about what it is and what's involved in it, then please subscribe to my channel and check out what I've already put out, because I do have a lot of helpful information for teachers who are teaching online or who are thinking about teaching online. So, and if you want to reach out to me about the whole process, I'd be happy to help point you in the right direction to some companies that might be good for you. But right now, I highly suggest Outschool as a company to look into. That is where I'm working at primarily. I do have a referral link in my description box. You can use my referral link. Let me know if you are going to use it, because then I'd love to help you with the process, and I can offer you some tips. But I hope that this was helpful for you if you are thinking about leaving the classroom, hearing all about all these teachers who are leaving the classroom. If this is something that you need to do in this stage of your life, then I hope that you found this helpful.